The following is a presentation of TFNN. Time to talk about your health. Living a primal lifestyle.
You know, we have Tom from Tampa on the phone. Hey, Tom. Good morning. It's bright and early now, huh?
Hey, Paige. Good. How you guys doing, Nico?
Doing great.
Good. Hey, your newsletter's outstanding, man. I'm telling you, man, it is outstanding. And so is the Primal Wave. I love that stuff. I'd never be without it. I mean, I've been on it now 3-4 months, man. I mean, it's just, I can't get over how good I feel.
Primal Edge is, people are raving about it. People who are trying it, they know because you can feel it.
Would not be without it.
Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044. Now your hosts, Nico Haan and Paige Clarke.
Well, good morning. I'm Paige Clarke, and we're living a primal lifestyle where we explore a return to our more natural, wild world, where we can regain our health, our rights, and our freedoms. And I'm here today with my guest, Stephen Klein. Stephen is a biohacker, a health enthusiast, and also my partner in our new venture, the Healthy Fit Club. Hope you guys will join us. You'll find Living a Primal Lifestyle information on our Healthy Fit Club. So Stephen got up early this morning and decided to be part of it. We're going to talk a little bit about your journey to kind of your inspiration and how you got into the world of wanting to create optimal health and peak performance.
Well, I'd always been interested in health and fitness. I was a personal trainer in a past life. I'm not going to date myself.
A past life or earlier in your life?
Just earlier.
Or maybe both.
Maybe both. I got frustrated in that field just because there were so many factors I couldn't control with my clients. But I really got frustrated in that people that I saw that were interested in getting healthy didn't have access to the right information. Like, some people would be motivated to get healthy, but they literally have a very small chance of getting there because of the influence, the myths, anything that they had
misconceptions,
things that they tried to follow, I guess, or learn from were just the wrong things, and so they'd hit dead ends, and that really motivated me to learn more about the truth that would lead to optimal health and fitness and wellness and everything else. And every day has been kind of an awakening to something else that's out there that I didn't know about. I mean, ever since I've met you, you've opened a lot of doors for me into areas that I didn't even know existed. So,
well, I think that's the key thing, is that getting healthy is really a self-empowerment thing. Mm-hmm. And you really have to take responsibility for your own health and your rights and your freedoms and everything. That's what this show's about, where we kind of go down the rabbit hole. And some of the things you may have heard about and some may be new. And we always encourage you to do your own research, because that's how we got here, is we started researching and trying to find out what actually is the truth. And there's things that may work for you, but not for someone else. So you have to really look at what's out there and apply it for your own self. You were asking me the other day, what are some of the key nutrients that everyone and anyone needs to take?
Right.
That a lot of people think that's different, have different opinions about that. But I think that's a great place to start a little bit today.
Yeah, because I'd ask you I know everyone's different. Some people have deficiencies with certain things. They have environmental factors that are going to influence it. But if you were to go, okay, across the board, what are some nutrients that almost everybody needs to really look at as a foundation, or something that just about everybody's deficient in, that you could say confidently, hey, make sure you're getting this in your diet?
That's a great place to start. And one of the reasons, as you know, that we tried to find that one-shot wonder. Nico and I were sitting here, that we were asking ourselves the same question. How do you just address the basic needs for everyone? So we formulated the Primal Edge, which is a multivitamin, multi-mineral. But let's speak in general, whether or not you get the Primal Edge or not. Mm-hmm. We're all deficient in micronutrients.
Right.
And it's funny because people say, oh, I take a multivitamin. I wish they would say, I take a multi-mineral. Did you know that our bodies can actually make many of the vitamins in their bodies? We have the cofactors. Yeah. We have the synergistic cofactors to do it if we get the raw materials.
Right.
And what are the raw materials?
The minerals.
The minerals. And where do we get the minerals? In the soil. Except not because they're no longer there. And it's like you and I were talking one day, and I explained to you that if we have a bank account, we have money in there, and we take out $90 every day and we only put back $3, we're going to be out of money pretty soon.
That doesn't work.
So that's exactly what we've done to our soil. And health really begins in the soil, is that there are all these 90 essential nutrients, trace elements. And we've been farming and not rotating our crops and not following the wisdom of our ancestors and rotating crops and doing different things seasonally. And as a result, our soil has become depleted of what we need, those basic signaling molecules of minerals and cofactors. Mm-hmm. And when we add these synthetic fertilizers, NPK, that's only adding 3 back. So like I said, you'd be broke in the bank, our soil is broke. Mm-hmm. That's why multi-mineral. So I would tell you that I believe that the most important thing is getting a multi-mineral and vitamin supplement with all the synergist and cofactors. Mm-hmm. That's a great basis, because even though you may eat well, you may not always eat well. And that's just kind of like, I call it cheap insurance.
Right.
It's like anything else. You hope you never have to use it. You hope that your body is somehow getting it. But
even if you're eating all organic stuff, it's tough to get all those minerals in, given just what's gone on with our food supply and access to it. And I've seen demonstrations where if you put liquid minerals in water and put you have a light bulb in one spot and you put the lead wire into it, the light bulb will light up from the minerals. I mean, that's what conducts all of our electricity, and without it, you're depleted of energy.
You've got it. We're photovoltaic electric beings. So number 2 is vitamin D3. And vitamin D3 is actually a pre-hormone. It's a hormone. We shouldn't be calling it a vitamin. It's a very important hormone. And guess what we need to make vitamin D3? Well, the sun is our best source, but we also need cholesterol. It's cholesterol sulfate that is in our body that, yeah, it's not really a quiz, but, I'm just making sure you're awake at this early hour. Vitamin D3 is such an important signaling hormone, is what it is, that it helps us to know, it helps our body communicate with all the other genes, turns on about 300 different genes, helps us express the right form of the gene so we have good gene expression and ultimately better health. So my recommendation is to get in the sun. Right. I always like to tell people things they can do, tips that they can use, versus saying go buy a supplement. If you buy a supplement, you want to make sure you're getting good quality D3. You know one of the problems we have, though? Have you heard how everyone's deficient in vitamin D3?
I have.
Well, there's all kinds of explanations for that, and that's another rabbit hole journey about why we might be deficient in vitamin D3. One of the tricks I use with clients is I say to mix their vitamin D3 in a little shot glass with water and add some essential oil of lemon, a drop, or even just a fresh squeezed lemon, something to emulsify the fat a little bit. Because some people maybe are not good at digesting the fat, and vitamin D3 is a fat-soluble nutrient, and that really helps them. And Al, I might need you to wave at me because there's no clock in the den for some reason, so I'll look for Al to give me a heads up or waving when we take a break, but we'll keep on going. One of the other nutrients, the third nutrient that I think is kind of on the list of needs to be done is fish oil. So when we get back, we'll go over the third most important multi-nutrient that you need to have every day so you can have the best health. So we'll take a short break. You can call us and join in on the conversation, 877-927-6648, and we'll see you right after the break.
You know what's cool? Taking something that's good for you. Something specifically formulated to help with weight loss, better sleep, stress reduction, and the need to detox.
Nico, our hunter and gatherer ancestors found all their nutritional requirements for health in their wild environment. But today, our food sources no longer contain the vitamins, minerals, and nutrients our bodies need to stay healthy and strong.
That's why we need Primal Edge Daily Nutrition. It includes a special blend of ionic, soil-based vitamins, minerals, fatty, and amino acids in an easy-to-use liquid form.
Primal Edge is powered by highly concentrated fulvic and humic acids, nature's preferred delivery system. They have been called miracle molecules because, like sunlight, air, and water, life cannot exist without them.
That's right, Paige. They ensure we receive all the nutrition we need to be healthy and thrive. We take it every morning.
Primal Edge, formulated and approved by Nico and Paige of Living a Primal Lifestyle. Buy it today for just $89. Click on the Primal Edge banner on the front page of TFNN.com. platinum, grains, crude oil, gold, copper, cattle, hogs, gasoline, natural gas, coffee, cotton, cocoa, and sugar. These are just some of the commodities mentioned in the most recent issue of Andy Hecht's Techno-Mental Commodity Report. Andy publishes his weekly newsletter every Thursday morning, where he breaks down the commodity market and provides his subscribers with specific trading recommendations based on his trading methodology. By signing up for a free trial to the Techno-Mental Commodity Report, you'll get a full 30 days to try out this powerful newsletter service and see for yourself the types of trades Andy has recommended for his subscribers. When you sign up for a 30-day free trial, you're under no obligation to pay anything. And should you decide to continue, you will lock in the low rate of only $79 a month. Sign up right now for the Techno-Mental Commodity Report and make sure you're ready to catch the next big trade in commodities. For more information and to get started today, visit the front page of TFNN.com.
Are China A-shares hot or not? If you trade China A-shares, now may be time to take a closer look. Trade CHAU or CHAD, Directions Daily CSI 300 China A-share Bull and Bear ETFs. China A-shares in either direction. Visit directioninvestments.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Nico and Paige take your phone calls now. Toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044.
Welcome back to Living a Primal Lifestyle. I'm Paige Clarke, and I'm with Stephen Klein. And Stephen, we've been going over some of the key nutrients that everybody needs to have every day. And of course, we always encourage you to get it through your lifestyle, get it through your food. We talked about getting a multi-nutrient, primarily the multi-minerals and cofactors. And we talked about the importance of vitamin D3. Recommendation is to get out in the sun and let your body collect that vitamin D3, the radiation that helps you make your vitamin D3. And then we started talking about omega-3s, fish oils.
Yep.
And that's kind of a tricky situation because it's always you want to offer this information, but you need to say, but make sure, as you mentioned while we were on the break, that so much of the fish oils that we are offered today are perhaps provided to us through fish oils, through fish that have been farm raised, so they're not going to have the ideal omega-3, omega-6. Right. And many of them are processed in such a way that the healthful benefits are really not there.
Right.
People say, do I need EPA, DHA? We can make EPA through some of the other things we get in our foods, but we can't make DHA. And I like getting things as low on the food chain as we can.
Right.
I like an algae-based DHA.
That's pretty low on the food chain.
That's pretty low, and you know, that's one that I enjoy from Premier Research Labs is my favorite. I like to say eat some good wild-caught fish, a couple meals a week. You know, we've talked about Vital Choice is a great place that you can get wild-caught fish, and that has the good omega profile.
Right.
And you know, omega-3s are so important for almost all of for cardiovascular benefits. They help decrease inflammation, and they really are very beneficial in preventing a lot of the chronic diseases. So you want to make sure that you're getting access. Another place you can get access to your omega-3s is through grass-fed pastured animals. A lot of people are not aware that that pastured beef and this kind of a thing, their omega profile in these animal foods are nearly as high or maybe even higher than some fish. What do you think the next one is? The source of life.
Probiotics.
Probiotics. Like to look at the words, antibiotics versus probiotics. Probiotics are pro-life. And so much research is out now on the power of our microbiome, or the bugs that live among us. You know, that's part of everything that we do. It helps, the microbiome is part of the signaling system for a lot of our neuroendocrine functions. people say, how do I get them? One of the best ways that you can get probiotics is through primal, ancient procedures called fermentation, culturing, or you can look for a good supplement that provides a wide spectrum. I like to say shake it up a bit.
Right.
If you are taking a supplement, buy different brands, buy different species. It's like variety, diet variation, provide a diet
heard that.
here.
Interesting you say that, because when I went on my quest to look for probiotics a long time ago, they made that was a point that they raised was make sure you cycle the different types, because there's so many millions and billions of probiotics in your biome that you want to rotate.
It's
Not just
literally
have one strain.
trillions, Stephen.
Trillions.
And when you take a probiotic supplement, you're getting, they talk about billions of millions of strains.
Right.
When you take a teaspoon of sauerkraut, you're getting trillions. So, and it's a lot cheaper. And I know I try to get you, when we have lunch sometime, I try to get you to eat some fermented vegetables. It's not your favorite.
No. Apple cider vinegar, it's a lot easier for me just to take that in that morning concoction we talked about with lemon, apple cider vinegar. We mentioned even putting the D3 in there with some MCT oil,
right,
etc. So that's my little, and sea salt, that's my little morning.
Your little morning terrific tonic.
There you go. The terrific tonic.
So I really do think that getting these cultures, getting these probiotics into our body in any way that's good for you, always look for your sources in food. And I think those are really kind of my top nutrients that we all need to have to stay healthy and be healthy. But that's part of what we wanted to talk about today is how can we figure out how to be healthy? What are some of the things that you're exploring now as a biohacker?
Well, aside from just the eating healthy, there's how do I exercise most efficiently? We talked about burst training. There's the emotional or the mindset part of things we talked about. There's this whole holistic viewpoint now, where back in the day I used to just think about, okay,
train.
Yeah, train hard and eat okay, or good, and train hard and eat okay, maybe some sleep. So there's so many things now that I look at, from a restful night's sleep to the emotional part of it and mindset to the most efficient workout, where I get a burst training, which is going to lead to a lot of benefits, versus just people think that if they go run for 2 hours that's really, really healthy. Oh, I was on the treadmill for 17 miles yesterday. That must be so awesome.
I give that analogy of just close your eyes and picture a marathon runner and a sprinter. Mm-hmm. And when you picture those two physiques, what you see is the marathon runner is toned and has muscle mass. The sprinter is going to have the muscle mass and the definition, whereas the marathon runner loses a lot of their muscle mass. They look stressed, I think. Mm-hmm. I think just looking at the way their chosen exercise, that's not always the case, but I feel like in today's world, the saber-toothed tiger never stops. Most people have stress overload. And stress is a good thing, and it gets us moving. It's part of our survival thing as long as we can turn it off. But when it stays in constant play, that's not good. So we think when we do burst training, we're telling our body to turn on the life-preserving genes. The body says, wow, I might have to do another one of these sprints. I better be ready. I better activate that human growth hormone. I better get that testosterone ramped up. And when we just go on forever, we start turning on the stress hormones. And I think that we can talk a little bit more. I'd like to go over some of I brought up here in on the screen. I hope that the group can see it. Burst training, a top 5 strategy to create your best health. This is from one of my favorite mentors, Dr. Daniel Pompa, providing information about how to activate the longevity genes. And how are you using burst training? Tell me a little bit about your day, how you've started implementing it. Because what I love about you, Stephen, is as you learn things, you are living a very authentic life, and you're making sure that you schedule it and block it in and find time to practice what you preach. Right. And that's good.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And I look for efficiency. As, I know you have a busy life, I've got a busy life. I don't want to just ever get in a situation where I can't get my workout in because it's too long. So the burst training, you can spend 10 to 15 minutes of high-intensity training and get everything you need to get all the benefits that we just talked about. And when we were talking even about the endurance workouts, there's a whole new science. When I say new, it's been around for years, but guys like Mark Sisson and David Kimmerly are using heart rate variability to get the benefits of the endurance training without the stressors that come with chronic training. But getting back to what you asked me, it's as simple as getting into a gym and taking 10 or even 15 minutes of just rotating push-ups, pull-ups, and squats without weight even.
You can take it anywhere. You don't even have to go to the gym.
Right. Take a minute break between each round and just go 10 minutes of just full out. And that simple, short, quick workout is all you need to stress your muscles to the point where you get that spike in human growth hormone.
All those anti-aging benefits.
Yeah,
we got to take a break here. We'll come back and give you a couple of tips on how to really activate these youthing hormones using burst training in the minimum amount of time, get the best benefits. So we'll see you after the next break.
You've heard Nico de Haan as co-host of Living a Primal Lifestyle, which airs every Friday at noon Eastern Time on TFNN, and would like to tell you about the personal training studio that Nico is the owner and president of, Performance Training. Since 1998, Nico has trained individuals and groups to improve their health both mentally and physically. As a certified personal trainer, Nico's main focus is on demonstrating exercises correctly to avoid injury and teaching his clients how to manage their past injuries while getting the most out of their personal training sessions. The Performance Training Studio is filled with unique training equipment that enhances balanced results at a faster rate while minimizing damage and discomfort. For more information, you can give Nico a call at 727-418-8740 or email him at nico@tfnn.com. Let him know you heard him on TFNN and save up to $100 on a special package just for TFNN listeners. Act today.
Tiger TV is an exciting way to experience TFNN programming. See high-definition video, giving you crystal clear charts, as well as seeing some of the faces of TFNN's highly acclaimed financial experts with crisp, full-fidelity sound. Catch Tom O'Brien, John Logan, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, Larry Pesavento, Think or Swim, David White, Andy Hecht, and Daryl Martin in crystal clear, high-definition audio and video. Tiger TV, exclusively at TFNN.com.
Has the current market volatility continued to stop you out of trades when the market spikes against you? Now is the perfect time to open up an account with Nadex. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a brand new, completely regulated Chicago-based exchange, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their completely free trading platform, which also features real-time charts and full customization capability. One of the advantages of trading with Nadex in volatile markets is that your risk is always capped and you have the ability of keeping your trades open even when the market spikes against you. Nadex is completely brand new with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's NADEX.com. Or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors.
Many of our new listeners have heard about the Tiger's Den, but wondered, what exactly is it? The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of your favorite TFNN shows, plus see all the charts as they happen live during those shows, and have access to all those charts. You can test drive the Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days. It will greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets. Details on the Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com. This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
And welcome back. I'm with Stephen Klein, and we're biohacking our life, everyday life. And so we talked about getting the core nutrition that we need, the key things that everybody should have in their life from their food or through supplementation. Now we're talking about burst training, which is high-intensity interval training, because it's a much more effective, much more efficient form of exercise that depresses the stressor hormones and increases our longevity and youthing hormones such as human growth hormone and testosterone and glucagon and so forth. Mm-hmm. And I like you had a quote that you wanted to share that kind of asks a question.
Yeah, and then we'll do the little follow-up. The question is, would you rather burn fat for 30 to 60 minutes during exercise, or 1 to 2 days after 10 minutes to 15 minutes of exercise? Because you see all these people they think, if I get on the treadmill or I do a lot of cardio for hours and hours, I'm going to burn fat. But it's not as efficient or effective as working out with the burst training, and then you're going to be burning fat for days after, because the cardio training at the low intensity level does not put your body in a state where it's going to burn fat. So in other words, as soon as you're finished training, that's it.
You are right on track. And many people then take these sugary pre-workout drinks. Then they go to the gym and they get on and they have to work out for an hour before they're ever getting to fat burning mode, because they're really burning off, or maybe they have a big breakfast. The body is always going to burn the fuel that's easiest to get.
Right.
And the fuel that's easiest to get is the sugar fuel, the glucose fuel. Right. So if you have it in your system, your body's going to use it and save the fat. The fat storage is not storing up for the winter, right? And we pack it on just in case. And if we have other sources of fuel, the body will use it. So I believe that fasted exercising produces great results. And
Absolutely.
I know that people that are still eating a lot of grains or processed foods, or even if they're not eating processed foods, but they still have a lot of sugar-based grains and starches.
Absolutely.
They have a hard time. They get this idea that they're not going to be able to perform. They're going to pass out or something, and it's quite the opposite, I think. After you get yourself used to it, you feel more energized by exercising fasted, and I think you get better results in switching into the fat-burning mode.
Yeah, as long as it is important to stay hydrated. That's one key, that since a lot of people aren't hydrated, if you take on that strategy and you're not hydrated, you're going to have some issues in that scenario. But as long as you stay hydrated, you will get all the benefits that we discussed.
Well, the hydration is so important because you can't really burn fat without having proper hydration. Water is really important. We're hydroelectric beings. Hydro meaning we're powered by water. And in order to have electricity, to make electricity, we need to have that hydropower. So it is important to stay hydrated before, after, and during exercise. Let's talk a little bit about why it is. Here's something that Dr. Pompa says: low-intensity workouts don't require as much post-exercise metabolic repair. Thus, the metabolic benefits and results are not nearly as impressive. That's so true, and you can see that really bodybuilders were the beginners of intermittent exercise. They do intense work. There'd maybe be some minor tears in the biceps of doing those heavy curls or those squats, and the body then gets busy building you up better than you were before. That's really what we're doing. Human growth hormone is called upon to put you back together again, like Humpty Dumpty, and put you back together how you were better and younger. Right,
and you don't grow in the gym, you grow out of the gym when you're resting and recovering. And I had given you this analogy that people, once they realize that when you're in that fat burning state after working out and you're getting the repair, as you start to lose a little bit of fat that way, your body's fat percentage gets lower and lower, you get to the point where the leaner you get, because it takes more energy to sustain the muscle than it does the fat, if you're following me here. So eventually you get to the point where just standing around, you're burning fat. And if you follow some of the diet advice we talked about, you're a fat burner anyway. So it's a self-fulfilling prophecy if you follow it. Whereas if you're just doing that long-distance, low-intensity cardio work, which we talked about, and you have the quote there, as far as the different types of cortisol that are released, it can actually do you more harm than good.
I've seen personally, I want to share with you that when CrossFit came out, because of my kind of competitive nature, when I started going to CrossFit, I had this visual that I'm, just as fit as I was when I was 20. I wish I could be, and I should be.
Phenomenal shape.
But the point is that when I went into CrossFit, I found that stressful. Even though they do have some HIIT type of training, for me, I had to stop because I found myself activating my stress hormones, and you can feel that difference. And I think some of it was the competitive nature of trying to perform these intervals at the level that they do. It's really important that you work your way into your interval burst training. Take the time. It can be as simple as making a 30 to 60 second sprint, resting for a few minutes, and really getting that rest period down is a sign that you're getting healthier. As you can decrease that recovery time, is a sign that your whole system is working better at bringing you back to what you were before.
Yeah, for a sprint workout that I would do, and I would warn you, based on my experience, that you ease into the sprinting, because if you haven't done it in a long time and you go sprint, you may pull a hamstring or a quad,
Right.
boom, first time out.
Well, remember what I told you about what I did with my planking? I mean, that's not even an interval, but exactly, folks. Everything you do new, you need to take time, you need to stretch, because I did a plank and then I tightened my muscles, and then I did something crazy to my back. I could hear the snap, but same thing. It could be a sprint.
Yeah.
It could be doing heavy squats with too much weight. It could be anything that's too intense when you're not prepared for it, so
Right.
ease into it.
So in the sprint workout that I may do this may be just once a week. I'll sprint for 30 seconds, I'll take a minute to 90-second break, and I'll do that cycle for 10 minutes, and I'm done.
And you're done.
That's it.
Better than done. I mean, it's great. It's a great way to work out. So this whole idea of finding time, that's not really valid anymore. The old exercise of spending hours in the gym or trying to find time to do something, if you enjoy taking an exercise class, do it. But make time 2 to 3 times a week to do your burst interval training. Shake it up with the routines. It might be as simple as squats or weights. It might be a sprint. It might be push-ups. It might be intense jumping jacks. The key is the activity needs to get you to a level that is difficult to carry on a conversation. It's about a burst of challenge in whatever the activity is, and then a period of rest.
Right.
Yeah, so I like that.
Good stuff.
And what we get best when we implement burst training, we get the quantum effect. What is the quantum effect? The quantum effect is the whole is better than the parts. And when you implement burst training with powerful strategies such as intermittent fasting, wow, now we're talking about a quantum effect. You get more bang for your buck. So, combining intermittent fasting, and we're going to go over that when we get back from the next break a little bit. I want to go over how we can, integrate intermittent fasting into our days. It can be a daily thing. It can be something that we do on certain days of the week. Whatever suits you best. But try and understand that, again, this is the time period that will help us activate our youthing genes, and we're going to put it together and get a better result. So make sure you get copies of our Living a Primal Lifestyle Health Signals newsletter. We get 2 editions twice a month. You can get it into your email box, and we'll be right back after the break. Give us a call, 877-927-6648.
You know what's cool? Taking something that's good for you. Something specifically formulated to help with weight loss, better sleep, stress reduction, and the need to detox.
Nico, our hunter and gatherer ancestors found all their nutritional requirements for health in their wild environment. But today, our food sources no longer contain the vitamins, minerals, and nutrients our bodies need to stay healthy and strong.
That's why we need Primal Edge Daily Nutrition. It includes a special blend of ionic, soil-based vitamins, minerals, fatty, and amino acids in an easy-to-use liquid form.
Primal Edge is powered by highly concentrated fulvic and humic acids, nature's preferred delivery system. They have been called miracle molecules because, like sunlight, air, and water, life cannot exist without them.
That's right, Paige. They ensure we receive all the nutrition we need to be healthy and thrive. We take it every morning.
Primal Edge, formulated and approved by Nico and Paige of Living a Primal Lifestyle. Buy it today for just $89. Click on the Primal Edge banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Tom O'Brien's weekly gold letter, The Gold Report, gives complete and concise coverage of the entire gold market. Inside, you'll get Tom's commentary on gold, the dollar, the rand, the bond, the XAU, the HUI, and detailed coverage of nearly 25 mining stocks. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock trade. The Gold Report is a long-term newsletter where the focus is on building real wealth through the management of a successful portfolio of gold stocks. With a lifetime of knowledge and almost 12 years of writing his informative weekly newsletter, The Gold Report, Tom O'Brien can provide you with the important market information to help you make better trades in the gold market. Don't let the next bull run in gold pass you by. To get a month-long free trial to The Gold Report, an $85 value, visit the front page of TFNN.com today.
David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today.
This segment is brought to you by TFNN. Test drive all the newsletters for free at TFNN.com.
Hey everybody, Stephen and I are living a primal lifestyle, and we hope you are too. And if you can see over here on the telestrator, Nico put up the Living a Primal Lifestyle rotator cuff stretch. So like we said, find ways to integrate exercise into your day. Get up from your busy day and practice doing a little bit of a stretch or so, and you'll be having a healthier lifestyle. So, all right, let's see here. I guess we can't see it, so I'm gonna turn it back on. Oops, now I showed you the video, but that's good. Okay, all says it's good. So let's get back to getting that quantum effect by combining burst training along with intermittent fasting. And that bursting and fasting, we can really multiply the effect. And I want to share a little bit of information. If you want to see the fastest results, combine the burst training with intermittent fasting, and it works like magic to supercharge fat loss, and it helps improve brain function and hormone sensitivity, which is really the key to weight loss.
Yeah, we talked about combining the strategies can help your brain. Both intermittent fasting and burst training, they're both cited as ways to improve your memory. And when they're put together, you get that 1 + 1 = 3 effect. And I'll mention that, living a primal lifestyle has its foundation in eating the primal way to be a fat burner, right? So there's still people in the audience that just, because in society it's been ingrained into people when you work out.
Ingrained.
Oh yeah, you're always good catching the puns. No pun intended on that one.
Right.
That when you finish working out, it's really important to get that meal in, to replace things within 60 minutes after your workout. The sooner the better. Well, that went along with the old sugar burner lifestyle. So when we're combining the intermittent fasting with the burst training, you're not going to eat in that 60-minute window. You're going to go really as long as you can until you're really hungry to eat your meal to get the benefits that we talked about, but exponentially.
You're encouraging your body to use the hundreds of thousands of stored calories you have in the fat on your body. And that's just a great way. So what does a typical day look like? Here you go. Dr. Pompa says, and this is kind of how we start our day. It's very easy. Simply do a burst training workout on a fasted stomach in the morning. Take a few minutes and maybe walk out your door and say, I'm going to do a 10-minute session of sprint bursts.
Right.
And you can wake up and drink a cup of organic coffee and maybe some grass-fed cream or coconut oil or MCT oil and get things really rocking. And then you can get your burst training in first thing. You're starting your day telling your body to start using fat as fuel. And we had an interesting show this week when I had Carolyn on, and I was kind of trying to suggest that breakfast or breaking the fast has been manipulated by the food industry to get us to buy all their packaged, boxed, and bagged things. Break the fast actually was done with the dinner meal or Dissner meal, which normally obviously wasn't done first thing in the morning. I mean, it might be the first time you ate, so I think what they were saying is that we fast during the day. We get out in the fields or we go hunt for a little bit, and then we come back and have our Dissner. And
Right.
I think that fasting is not a dangerous thing. We've been misled. Fasting is the supreme healer. It allows the body to use its valuable enzymes as a resource to go and do repair. So I want to encourage people to realize that fasting is a good thing. We want to stay hydrated, and there are other things you can do to help your fast by drinking cultured beverages, drinking bone broth, which we've talked about. But a lot of times, I mean, when I was with Dr. Pompa recently at a convention, he was explaining that he fasts for 20 hours a day, and he eats in a 4-hour window, and he looks great. He feels great, looks great, and that wasn't always the case, but he does now. So have you seen a big difference in your life since you've made the switch from being a, as you said, as a personal trainer, you know, myself as well, you know, we've told everyone you need to have this fuel all the time, and we were setting our clocks to make sure we ate every 2 to 3 hours.
Yeah, for years. Yeah, so I do feel a difference in the number. The biggest and the most noticeable difference is I don't get hungry.
Yeah,
because
the
you're burning
hunger.
fat, there is no hunger. And before, when I was eating on the clock every 3 hours, I didn't necessarily get hungry because I'd never really waited till I got hungry or ate till I was full, but I ate every 3 hours. But I would get blood sugar spikes, which would either make me jittery
cravings.
or memory loss or whatever, and the cravings. But you do not get any of that.
No. Maybe a little bit when you're first making the shift.
Well, yeah, of course, yeah. You're going to go through some, you know, that whole little adjustment to getting to that ketogenic diet to burn fat, which isn't the most pleasant experience for most people, but you can even aid that with using MCT coconut oil. Can get you into that state within 30 minutes instead of waiting 3 days, which could be typical for most people. But yeah, once you get there, you don't get hungry. You preserve your lean body mass a lot more. Like I may have gone periods sometimes where I didn't get a workout in for a while and did not notice anywhere close to the difference I would have, you know, as a sugar burner.
Yeah, as a sugar burner, what you see a lot is skinny fat people. You know what a skinny fat person is?
Yeah,
they're thin, but when you touch them, they're like Jello.
Right,
Because
they're fleshy. They're
Yeah,
like
they're
the Pillsbury dough.
Yeah, they may not even have the belly, but just everything. I think it's important that we realize that, you know, fat is a clean burning fuel. Think about the log on the fire at the campground. When we've got that fire stoked and, you know, it's just got strong embers going beneath it, it's really warm, it's clean. But in the beginning, when you throw the kindling on it, it's, you know, crackles and pops and produces a lot of smoke, and it flares up because the kindling is like sugar. The old log that's simmering is like fat. So we want to be a fat burner and quit spiking our blood sugar with the kindling, which is sugar, and we'll get a much better approach. So, you know, it takes a little time to get to this state of being a fat burner. Many times it's great to work with some kind of Kickstarter program that can help you make that shift. That's where you're starting to implement. Maybe have a great lean smoothie to help you bridge that gap as you slowly increase your amount of time that you're fasting and then decrease the period of the feasting. So we like to say, and it can be flexible based on how you work. Yeah, Al's got his smoothie going. There you go. And, you know, there's great ways to make smoothies. I think we'll talk about that a little bit, is smoothies can be a great way to get my favorite protein, which is collagen-based proteins or whey proteins to help open up, you know, detoxification. But we can make these with coconut milk and add a little bit of healthy fats in there. Raw milk can make a smoothie that can really help bridge that gap as you're lowering that time frame.
Right.
What else do you do? So after we've got like a minute left, but I want you to say, basically, you don't eat in the morning, but then you have your first meal, and I've noticed you're having a lot of times, you know, having good fats like avocado.
Absolutely. Avocado. I'll eat raw seaweed. I like that. I'll throw, I don't sprout my nuts. I need to get to the point where I do that, but I'll sometimes have raw nuts in there. Grass-fed beef or wild-caught fish, a variation of that. I'll put some MCT
Sardines.
Sardines or...
A little mustard on them.
Yeah, and I'm not a big condiment person, but I know you are.
Well, I like mustard.
And it's healthy.
And
it's
mustard's
good. It's
great.
good for
Apple
it.
cider vinegar, turmeric. I like a good, or I think mustard's a good little flavor.
Sure.
You know, especially
Absolutely.
for those that maybe are trying to recover, you know, the sardine taste might not be appealing to everyone.
Well, I wanted to make a comment there. I would have run away into another room if I saw somebody open sardines, but the ones, when we talk about the healthy things like that, they taste way better and they don't smell like other sardines.
That's right. So just making these little changes, little hacks, biohacks in your life to help you live a healthy primal lifestyle. So we got to take a break. We'll be right back, and we'll see you just shortly.
Hi, I'm Steve Rhodes, host of the Trader's Edge heard daily at TFNN.com and author of Mastering Probability, a daily investment and trading newsletter service that I send out each morning by 8 a.m. My morning newsletter service covers exactly what the markets have been doing since last night's close, providing you with an edge on your trading day ahead. You get actionable trading ideas, including the exact entry, stop, and profit targets. Plus, I'll teach you the patterns and hidden market correlations that will make you a better trader. As a subscriber, you'll gain access to my 90-minute money management workshop, where I'll teach you the secrets that'll save your assets. The bottom line, I've got your back, including a 30-day money-back guarantee. See for yourself the type of analysis I provide each trading day by signing up for Mastering Probability today. With nothing to lose, this is an offer you should not pass on. Mastering Probability can be found under Trading Newsletters on the front page of TFNN.com.
If you're an active trader looking for that extra edge when it comes to trading and investments, then now is a great time to get a 2-week free trial to Tom O'Brien's daily market letter, Market Insights. Tom O'Brien's daily newsletter, Market Insights, comes out every market day at around 9:30 a.m. and provides Tom's daily commentary on the broad market, including the Dow, NASDAQ, and S&P, plus specific trade recommendations. There's even an update published most afternoons to keep you informed about the day's market activity. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock and option trade. With Market Insights, there's nothing left to guessing. For all the details and to get your 2-week free trial to Market Insights started today, visit TFNN.com.
No matter where you're listening to TFNN programming, you can always access your favorite shows on demand through TFNN.com. TFNN airs live programming every market day from 8 a.m. till 6 p.m. Eastern, and you can view each program by accessing Tiger TV through our homepage. We even have an easy link for all mobile devices, including iPhones, iPads, and Android devices, located in the top right-hand corner of the TFNN homepage. You can use your smartphone to view Tiger TV. But if you don't have a connection that can keep up with streaming live video, then you can simply visit TFNN.mobi in the browser of your smartphone for live streaming audio of all our programs. The mission of TFNN is to educate our audience directly and interactively through our interactive website and call-in talk shows. TFNN is able to teach all levels of investors the technical skills needed to trade in today's marketplace. In order to get the best information possible, TFNN has assembled the most respected financial minds in the country to provide the most current news and comprehensive advice available. TFNN.com. Educating investors. Join John Logan as he teaches you trading techniques utilizing the TAS Profile Scanner. The Global Market Pulse, next on TFNN.
Paige Clarke and Stephen Klein, Living a Primal Lifestyle. Stephen, we've been talking about strategies to help us live longer and stronger, live a primal lifestyle, getting back to the basics. And even though we've talked about these things that we do, you and I have talked a lot about it. It's a whole being thing. Mm-hmm. And the impact that the way our thinking or our stinking thinking can impact our health and, our performance, and how truly emotions become cellular memory. And I want to, if people can see here, the biology of belief. This is the work of Bruce Lipton, phenomenal cell biologist, researcher. His book, The Biology of Belief, Unleashing the Power of Consciousness, Matter, and Miracles. And I want to just state that what we think about, we become. Mm-hmm. So it's really important that all of this talk about powerful affirmations and thinking good things really is based in science. And Bruce Lipton is fabulous. If you get a chance, Google, watch some of his talks and videos out there. He's out there on YouTube. He's got some really great talks. And this is something that you're really diving more into this time around in your life. You're looking a little bit more. You You went through a pretty serious tragedy a couple of years ago. You were in a bad accident.
Yep. Okay.
And you're realizing that a lot of this thinking or memory, whether you realize it or not, may be affecting you. You want to share some of your thoughts?
Yeah, well, I've come to realize that there's a lot of issues from the accident, the trauma that's still kind of in me, even though I don't remember anything consciously.
Your conscious mind doesn't remember it, but your subconscious, as
Still
Bruce Lipton teaches us, is a real big player.
Right. So working on getting some therapies, including EVOX and some things where you can kind of unwind some of that stuff and clear it.
EVOX is a technology that is perception reframing, and that actually through our voice we actually reprogram ourselves in our thoughts.
So, outside of that, it is really important, like you said, whatever you say, whatever you speak about, you bring about, or you've heard that before. And I think it's really important to have really, really positive-minded people that are aware of what they say around you, because it's hard to realize sometimes govern yourself. Like yesterday, I made some comment in a text to you, like something's driving me crazy. I can't remember exactly what it is, and you immediately texted back.
You said this is killing me.
Yeah, and you wrote back, that's bad NLP. I'm like, exactly. I'm saying that. Whenever you say things like that to yourself, that's what you're bringing about. So you got to reframe everything in a positive, no matter what's going on around you, because it'll have an effect.
It's funny how you can pick it up in other people. And I wasn't saying that to be judgmental.
No,
it's just I have to catch myself all the time.
Well, that's why I mentioned it's really important to surround yourself with other people who are present or positive, because it is a lot easier to catch that in somebody else. We're always critical or judging things all the time, whether we want to admit it or not. So we are run by our unconscious more than we are our conscious mind. So it is easier to catch in someone else when that happens. So that's why you want to surround yourself with people that are positive, because that'll help you in your day-to-day life, catching things that you wouldn't even know that you said. You go through your day, somebody could point that out, and you would say, I didn't say that, but we did.
And when you say surround yourself with people, you also need to surround yourself with a positive version of yourself. Because be careful what you think. Even if you don't speak it, your cells are listening. All gazillion trillion of your cells are listening to what you say.
Right.
I think positive affirmations and rephrasing things to help reprogram your cellular memory. I like to explain how this might happen. Let's assume that perhaps someone said you were lazy, and over again. Well, your cells remember that, and you've got to work to create a balance and reverse that, because say how effective and how efficient you are and productive you are, and then your body will start responding with this. So remember to be your own best friend and give yourself motivation every day. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back shortly. Oh, bro.
Since 1984, Basil Chapman has been using the Chapman Wave methodology to advise traders of his expert market opinion. While originally hand-drawing charts from the late 1970s into the 1980s, Basil noticed that prices under most circumstances virtually always had a certain number of legs to the upside before declining sharply. Later, Basil found that computer software, which included the standard market technical indicators, enhanced the degree of accuracy in calling price turns, as well as market trend calls. Thus was born the Chapman Wave sequence. Using the Chapman Wave methodology along with other indicators, Basil Chapman advises his subscribers of his expert market opinion each market day with his opening call newsletter. Right now, you can get a 2-week free trial to the opening call, Basil's daily trading newsletter, by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Cancel at any time during that trial and pay absolutely nothing. Get your 2-week free trial to Basil's newsletter, The Opening Call, today by visiting TFNN.com.
You're watching Tiger TV.